are up, Baba. You're live.
Thank you very much, family. It is wonderful to be here today. Uh, so first, let's begin by saying to Elder Tony, that was marvelous. And I don't think that sometimes we know in our village what a giant we have in Elder Tony.
Okay.
I would say to all of Columbus, I wish that you would recognize that Brother Tony is a gem. Is one of high stature and perfect performance in terms of technique and methodology. And he gave us a little history lesson today. So, Elder Tony, let me give you a special clap for that history lesson. Thank you so much. Let's give honor and respect to God, our God, and all of our ancestors, brothers and sisters. I'm so thankful that you invited me here today. It is always special. It's very special to be among family, especially in the village of in Columbus, Ohio, African village of Columbus, Ohio. It's special for me to be with you. No matter where I am in the world, I want you to remember that I'm still part of that family, and I will always be a part of that family. For several reasons. One is that my children were born there. And people, Reba and Ramani, and raised in that family, and you helped raise them,
Oh,
and
you on
so
there?
I have
Hold
great
on.
appreciation for that. I have, but you
That's the
also need
main
to
one. You're
know that
supposed to
I
be
have
in the
other
J&J meeting.
children
You
that
you are
that
on the
I
link. You need to get
claim.
off the link.
Children like Hatim, like Brother Hatim, like Brother Tawan, like Ella
You
Phyllis
gotta
and Bob
go to
Ransom,
your one
like
screen and swipe it off.
Brother Nomo. And I tell you this because our family extends, and the more that we can extend our family, the greater we can become.
Hmm? Yeah,
I
turn it
also
on.
want to it's good for me to let you know that it's good for me to be able to recognize each one of these family members and let you know that I'm very proud of them and all their accomplishments. But I want to give a special shout out to Brother Hatem for inviting me today. Hatem, you're doing great work, and I just want the village to know that you're doing that. I want to remind each listener that I will pass 95 on Monday. On Monday,
Hmm?
I'll pass 95, and
It's not on.
and I'm so proud that I'm able to be here and be among you. So I want to speak to you today as an elder, as a godfather, as a grandfather, and as a father. I will not be long-winded, but it will be some of the things that I have learned over my 9 decades of living. I hope you will deeply listen. I hope you will feel, not only listen, but feel some of the facts that I'm going to share with you beyond the words. I want today to please keep your African conscious, ask you to please keep your African consciousness, eyes and ears and sensitivities open as we go together in what I'm going to call a prayer of unity, but it's not a prayer that with your eyes closed, it's a prayer of your conscious eyes open, your hearing ears open, and your body and your spiritual eye active. Again, I want to give honor to the one that enabled us to be here today, the one who gave us great ancestors who kept peace on earth long before there was Jew, Islam, or Christian, the one who enabled us to survive the murderous shackles, torture, and sinful and unjust slavery system, the one who has maintained our survival through today in that same slavery system. Let us not forget, my brothers and sisters, that same slavery system is operating. Sometimes we sometimes we tend to forget that. Now may we be one in understanding that Juneteenth is not a day of celebration for us. There's a time we must continue high stepping up the road of liberation. It is a day when every African must stop asking for freedom, justice, and equality. We must declare it. If not before, we now recognize that Juneteenth was the day when the villainous white supremacist system pretended on June 19th, 1865, to notify African enslaved brothers and sisters in the military district of Texas, that they were free. We will open our eyes to the fact that we are in war, where our captors, though his or her, through his or her credulous and evil systems, continue to design and redesign ways of control and deception to keep us enslaved. We know that we must unite, all as Africans. We know that we must unite as Africans now more than ever before. We know that our strength lies in our goal of agreement so strongly that no wedge, no matter how sharp and how strong, can divide us. One of the strongest weapons of war that we face is that their ability to try and divide us, and sometimes we yield to that. We are aware that provocateurs are now joining our efforts. We're aware that they are trying to make our efforts weakened. We're aware that they are trying to make our efforts unrighteous and take away our self-determination. So, brothers and sisters, let's not be weakened by the pretentious joining of those who will do us damage. We are aware that we must stand firm on doing well for ourselves and encouraging others to work in their own backyards. I want to repeat that. Encourage others to work in their own backyards, to destroy the murderous practices and the behaviors that their own people have, instead of joining us or pretending to join us and becoming in an effort to weaken us. We are clear that our focus has been drawn to police brutality, which is unconscionable or vile in its own right. We know, however, that the big, rotten, stinky foot of oppression with its knee on our neck is still on our neck, individually and collectively. We know that same vicious self and system directed knee is resting on African citizens' throat every day in all 9 areas of life: economics, education, entertainment, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. We are hopeful that all of our efforts can be peaceful as we move the big, evil, and constant knee Africans experience daily. You know, they draw our attention to the one physical need, but just be aware that that need is on our throats every day. In any case, we must not fear using the directive given us by more than one of our ancestors. And more than one of our ancestors over and over reminded us that we must do things by any means necessary. Let there be absolute clarity, however, about this prayer of meditation and action and thankfulness. We are not asking God to do everything for us. We're asking for the discipline of the sun, the discipline of the wind, the discipline of the rain. We will then know we will move with power and precision. Our actions will be direct. Our talking will be minimized. Thanks be to God and our ancestors. Let us use this prayer of meditation as we make plans today. This can become our planning day, and I hope it will become our planning day until the false celebration that we have built into it. Because we need our collective liberation efforts. We need our collective freedom efforts. We need not be deceived and defined, nor defined by those who would like to keep us in a box. This prayer is written as I'm focusing on the time, space, and situation in which we find ourselves. I hope that it is useful beyond the stated words. You know that I could go on and on, brothers and sisters. There's too much shouting and not enough bouting every day. We continue to be in a cultural war. We continue to be in a cultural war. Now, if you don't know what that is, Please go and find out what that means. That means in every area of life that we're being under attack. And, and so it's important that we recognize that we are in this cultural war. We must, we must now move ahead and develop African group unity with a POA, a plan of action, not out shouting about, but by planning behind and within ourselves, and then move into action. I want to close this comment with a pledge that's taken from the new book that I've just put out called The Genius of Africans United, A Call to Action. And I'd like you to just meditate on both the prayer and this pledge because I feel that this pledge is so important. I know that we've been demeaned and we've been beat into believing sometimes that we are less than the best, but I want us to pledge that we will no longer accept that. And this pledge goes, I am a genius. My ancestors were geniuses. My ancestors have made me a genius. In all that I think, say, or do, I must declare myself a genius. I am a genius. Whenever I'm myself, I practice my geniuses and do great things. All of my thoughts, choices, and deeds must express my geniusness. I am a genius. My decisions must always be in the best interest of myself, my family, my people, and my God, not somebody else's, but mine. Only then will I and everyone know that I'm a genius. I am a genius. At all times, my geniuses must reflect my culture. My genius must serve my God. My genius must make me be one in love and harmony with my family. My genius must protect my people. At all times, brothers and sisters, I must declare excellence. It must be excellent because I'm a genius. Thanks to my brothers and sisters for allowing me to open this, what's supposed to be a festive day for a false reason. But let us make it a festive day for a real reason of planning and acting. Hotel, and again, Brother Hatem, thanks for asking me to open this very righteous uh, I'll say I'm going to call it a conference, a beginning conference to take action in the future. Hotel, and may the great spirit of the ancestors and all of the warriors be with you, because we need to understand, brothers and sisters, that we're in a cultural war, a war of destruction. Hotel.
Hotep. All right, Baba, hold on before you get off, man. Now you got one book out called 11 Steps: Considerations for Empowering African-Centered Organizations, and you got another book coming out which highlights the poem that you wrote. When you wrote that poem, the I Am a Genius, what was you trying to teach? Because this was long before a lot of people got into this whole idea about genius. Can you share what was on your mind when you put that poem together?
Well, I can tell you what was on my mind. I'm very clear that what was on my mind is still on my mind. All those enslaving systems that we sometimes honor, and I'm going to start with the schools, the churches, the the governmental systems, the courts. All those enslaving systems have beat us down sometimes, so when we don't recognize the geniuses that's in us, and that we were the ones who made them be able to stand up straight rather than walk on the fours, and that we are the ones that taught them how to build, how to be the so-called scientists that they are. And sometimes we tend to turn our backs on our ancestors and forget about all those measures, buildings, and all of those uh, healings and all of those great things that they did that made it possible for the false and evil systems to be, the enslaving systems to be present today. And then on top of that, I hope you caught the notion that I'm suggesting that they have the audacity, and sometimes we don't use our genius to see it, that to be deceptive about giving you freedom. How can you give a man freedom if he doesn't claim it for himself? And so I say to you that that's what's on my mind. It's still on my mind.
Mm. After 95 years, it's still on his mind. Family, be sure to check out. If you look at the bottom of the screen, it say learn more at maribakelsey.com. We will be launching his next book, The Genius of Africans United, A Call to Action. I didn't know you was a poet, Doc. I didn't.
I have to tell you, the little inside joke here in my house is that I thought I began to think I was, and my wife said to me, well, "That's not all poetry. That's prose, and I don't know what that is either."
Me neither,
But
and I'm supposed to be a poet. I don't know.
but anyway, those are thoughts. And then throughout the book, what I tried to do is make sure that we understand that everyone among us is a genius. But
Mm.
we sometimes don't put our geniuses together. The reason that we need to unite is that we need to put our geniuses together like hands together, so that we can manifest our strength rather than having hands and everybody declaring that they know it all on the peak. When they have valleys, everybody's got valleys, and so we put together and we have no peaks. I mean, no valleys. We have
Mm-hmm.
peaks, all peaks, and that's what we should be striving for, rather than allowing disunities and disagreements and believing that it's all right uh, to, to disagree. It is not. Our goal should be to agree. Um, so that's what I was on my mind. All these things were on my mind, and now you could I could talk forever on things like that that's on my mind.
Hey, I mean, now that's part of the beauty of being an elder because you get time to talk. Now, so you was talking about interlopers in a sense, on what we're doing and what's popping off out in these streets now. Can you go a little bit more in depth on that?
Yeah, well, I told you at the beginning that this represented some of my experiences. In about, I'm going to say 1960s, somewhere in the 1960s, in Columbus, Ohio, there was a group called KEO, Know Each Other, which I was deceived into believing that group, they had Jews and all kinds of other white groups and white members in it, and a few black people, and I began to believe that they too would take a stand. And what we found shortly, when there was trouble in Columbus, that we couldn't find them. And I said then that it's really time that we
You
begin
find it.
to recognize when they come among us, that's many times it's just for excitement, not for taking action in the way that we need action for our own liberation. Only we can do that. We must do it behind closed doors before, and not on the TV for everybody to see what we're talking about.
Mm. All right. All right. So Doc, we want to thank you for joining us, and make sure you keep on staying tuned on G&J Media live, because we got a whole bunch of nice stuff going for you. Hold on, brother Kwame say prose supposedly doesn't necessarily have particular rhyme and meter, but listen to our people speak. Prose, their speech rhythm turns prose to poetry. Sister Elder Margarita say we will win. Hold on, let me go and give you some of the messages that was popping up while you was talking, because you can't see the messages. Just to let you know and let the family know. I mean, like I said, this is an international thing here. We got we're getting okay. Some people couldn't see it, but somebody said, "Hey, Daddy, hold on. Who was it? Somebody was on here. It blew my mind. I'm old now, but we got one of your daughters was on here checking you out, Doc. So we're gonna give her a round of applause. I don't see her name. Oh, Ramani. Ramani, hey, Daddy. She said, "What's up?" Ramani said, "What's up?" You had Greg Arnold talking about fair weather folks, because that's kind of what you're talking about
All
right
right.
now. You know what I'm saying? It's like long as the weather's good. And we also, because part of my issue is that anybody that comes out and makes a sacrifice for something, or like what's happening out in these streets right now, always is looking for something in return. And
That's right.
like how did y'all how did you end up dealing with that situation when you found out that they wasn't there when you really needed them to be there?
Well, I think that well, I learned from it. For one thing, I learned never to assume that that there was a collective effort among them to do anything. Now, I'll yield to there may be a possibility for one individual to be a friend to another individual, but not to address the system that got the boot on our backs and our necks.
Mm.
And I guess I'm trying to encourage us to make the distinction between those two. Even if I don't think you need the first one, need to anyway. But if you're going to do it, let's make a distinction between what is individualized and that is systemized. Let's make a clear distinction between those two because I don't have any evidence that we're getting help from the system that has caused us to be enslaved from the beginning and throughout now. See, the different forms of, that it manifests itself, and sometimes we see that as progress, but it may be more where we're breathing our own carbon dioxide, and I've forgotten what that disease is called, but it's that like having a mask and having to breathe your own carbon dioxide. Uh, but, so it's a be careful about that because we are in danger if we don't take time and begin to plan for ourselves.
And what do you think some of the plans should include?
Well, I'm not going to discuss those publicly, but I
Uh
certainly
oh, I
discuss
like
them.
that.
I will discuss them in our groups so that we know that there are many prongs to that plan, not just one. That's why I call the misguided and misdirected efforts of focusing on just police brutality alone. That police brutality is just a part of the overall system.
Right.
That includes, I keep emphasizing, and sometimes my family and others don't like me to emphasize that includes the churches, and let's don't be fooled by any.
So what we need is a total system overhaul or total system breakdown or total system rebuilding in a sense. And we have to start I'm gonna leave it there. We're not gonna discuss this publicly. But Baba, I wanna thank you. Thank you. Are there any questions from the family out in the ether? Anybody out there that has any questions, type them up, and I will read them to the Baba while we got them, because we sitting here at the feet of wisdom. We need to go and take advantage of it. We got a little bit of extra time here at the DiGyeFest, because I don't know what's going on after this, but we're going to make it happen. That's how we do it at Giammi Journey. Mommy, I know what's happening, but I don't know what's happening immediately. But anyway, we got a live correspondent out. We got a young man that's about to spot some poetry for us. You know what I'm saying? And we doing this safely. Sister Antoinette said, Pledge of African Genius, written by Mariba Kelsey, June 19th, 1989, for, where's it at? I just lost it. A Pledge for African Genius, written by Mariba Kelsey, June 19, 1989, for Columbus Juneteenth celebration. Brother Greg Arnold. Greg and Carolyn Arnold. If you don't understand racism and white supremacy and all it entails, everything else you thought you knew will only confuse you. Come on now, y'all got the barber sitting right here. Throw them questions out. He's sitting up here patient because you know he don't like being on photographs too long. But I'm trying to change that. Because we got to, it took us a while to get up on the camera, but we got the camera now, so he going to be on the show. Baba, you just, I don't know if you walked into you just walked into the trap. You got to be coming on. You might be a weekly commentator, man. You ready?
I'll see you later.
Brother Kwame say rescue, reconstruct, and restore African worldview and its practical application. And we're going to talk about a little bit more of that. Now, for those of you that are listening, Dr. Kelsey has spoke to me about doing, in a sense, a talk with some of the nation builders. So we need nation builders that are interested. I know I could get some, but I want to get some outside directly of my circle where we can sit down and actually have a real conversation with Dr. Kelsey about some of the main issues that we need to be dealing with, especially here in Columbus. But Doc, I want to thank you for joining us. And be sure stay in tune. And if you feel you need to come back on, just text me, let me know, and I will put you on. Greg Carr will be on later on. The schedule is gonna post up in between time, so you can check it out. But we at gnjmedia.live, gnjmedia.live. I'm about to go over here to Brother D. Brother D, you
All
about
right,
to
well,
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I just said thank you very much, and I'll talk with the I'll talk and just let my village know that I'm there with them as they plan and take serious uh, the steps up the road of liberation and freedom.
Yes, sir.